What's up, stars? It's your girl Ivory Star with a Ratchet astrology report. Now, I know I said I wasn't coming back until the new moon in May, but here I am because sometimes when I'm reading my little astrology bloggers and going through my little books and stuff like that, I run across celestial events that kind of pique my interest. And trust me, it's always some celestial events going on. There's always information out there about what's going on in the universe because, you know, the universe is a constant big ball of moving energy and moving those planets, moving us, moving around, all of that. So I came across a retrograde going on. Now, I know we get a little freaked out when we hear the word retrograde because Mercury be trying to drag us to hell sometimes. At least 3 times a year, Mercury finds her way into our life to try to drag us straight to hell with our phones, our transportation, accidents, co-workers, whatever Mercury can get her hands on during retrograde. She do it, she twist it, and it be going down, right? I know. But I'm not here to talk about Mercury, which the Mercury retrograde is coming for Gemini season. So get ready for that. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you plan your trips, plan your meetings and all that stuff now, and make sure that you just are getting ready. And when retrograde comes, I suggest that y'all do no last minute planning. Like if they can't get in ahead of time and schedule an appointment, or you can't get in ahead of time, just wait until retrograde is over. Retrograde is about 21 days, maybe about 30 if you include post and pre-retrograde periods, which are very important. Pre for preparation, post to come down and to get ready to go back into normalcy. But you know, I'm not here to talk all about that retrograde. I'm really here to talk about Pluto's retrograde, which doesn't get talked about a lot because Pluto makes such a slow orbit through each sign, which I think is about 12 to 31 years. I think Pluto can stay in one sign. It's been in Capricorn since 2008, and it's not leaving till 2024. So there was really no need to really get all into Pluto and the transit because it's a generational planet. Generational planets stay in the same place for a long time. Personal planets move a little bit faster, like the sun, the moon, Mercury, as you see, moves about every 3 to 4 weeks. Venus and Mars. Okay. But then you have the generational planets, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, which orbit a little bit slower. So they affect a wider range of people. So henceforth, we have Pluto in Scorpio. So if your mind wasn't made up, which means you wasn't all set in your ways by 2008, or you were born after November 26, 2008, your Pluto is in Capricorn for everyone born 2008 and beyond. And anybody who was being raised during that time, you will feel the effects of Pluto being in Capricorn because it's helping you set your ways, set the pace. 2008, I would have been about 21. So, my mindset and stuff was still being developed. So I am a part of this force, this Pluto and Capricorn force. You know what I'm saying? I might not have a Pluto and Capricorn placement, but because it's affecting a whole generation, I am raising a generation full of what? Plutos and Capricorns, right? Because all my children were born after 2008. So that is their placement. So this is the world that we're living in. Okay. So what do we know? So let's talk about some terms before we get into the advice portion of this video. So planets that we should know: Saturn, because it is the ruler of Capricorn. Saturn is the planet of duty and responsibility. Capricorn is the sign of responsibility, work ethic, and strategy and planning and those type of things. Those are all attributes of Capricorns. They love money. They are good at making money, saving money, stacking up money and those type of things. That's the Capricorn nature. So Pluto is the planet of rebirth, life, death, transformation, and also sex. Now, Venus has sex listed as well. But when you think about Venus being a planet of sex, you think more of Venus being your planet of sexy. Pluto more the way you engage and look at sex, okay? So what we have happening here is Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. What is a retrograde? Retrograde is when the planet is not actually turning completely backwards, but it is tilting or changing its orbit in an opposite direction a few degrees. Not a complete turn. Do you know how long it would take a planet to make a complete backward turn orbit? That's not what it's doing. It's making a tilt and a shift, and it's making it appear backwards to us because we can only see so much through telescopes, and we only know so much about what's really going on up there. This is all based on the energy and celestial happenings that have happened over a collective amount of a long history of years. You know what I'm saying? But there's still only so much that we know. We don't know everything that's going on out there. But what we do know, these retrograde periods is not the planet actually turning backwards, but it's tilting and shifting the energy. So what does Pluto do when it goes retrograde? So Pluto being in Capricorn, let's talk about that real quick first. It's been there since 2008. I told you that part. It basically redefined the way that we look at our work ethic, right? Because when you take the definitions and you break them down, that's what it is. So it's rebirth, transformation, life, or death of Capricorn. Work ethic, responsibilities, do it the way you look at it, save money. This was not the year of the stay-at-home mom. I mean, these have not been the years of the stay-at-home mom. The workforce has definitely changed with more women in the workforce and, leaving home and going outside of the home to do things. That is one thing that you can look at. People valuing themselves in a different way because Pluto is all about, Scorpio, Pluto rules Scorpio. Remember, Scorpio is all about the value of self. Do they always honor it? No. Sorry, not to shade Scorpios, but they understand it, but they don't always value it for themselves. And that's always an issue for Scorpio. But they do understand the value of people, the value of being valued at work, especially. And, that's what we're talking about. But when it goes into retrograde, Pluto is making us look at the negativity in us so we can claim our inner power. Because when you think about a Capricorn, think about a power-hungry, money-hungry executive trying to get to the top. I will not call Capricorns opportunists, but they will take advantage of a good opportunity. They like to strategize. They kind of be the cool, savvy dude in the suit, cool, savvy lady in the, dressed for the occasion, ready to work and got plans and ideas and ready to lead and tell people what to do. That it goes. You know what I'm saying? But Pluto is coming to make us look at all of that totally different. Now, this retrograde period is going to last for 5 months. So this is not a short-term healing phase. We're trying to dig deep. Things need to be unhidden. Capricorns are not good at keeping secrets. I'm just going to put it out there. They are great people. But if it's something that is hurtful to them, they can. But, eventually that cat got to come out of the bag because they want to get in their bag. And a lot of things that is stopping us from getting into our bag for real is the fact that we are holding on to secrets that are not even beneficial to us. How is a secret beneficial to you? Let me ask you that. It may stop you from, stop something from happening in your life. Like maybe the secret is going to mess up a relationship, or maybe this secret is going to cause problems for you at work, or maybe the secret that you're holding on to is going to disrupt your family life, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But is it stopping you from growing? Is it stopping you from claiming your inner power? Is it stopping you from being the best you that you can be? All this holding on to family secrets and stuff like that. And I say this because this past full moon, sorry, I glitched a little bit, this past full moon in Scorpio was based in the same type of theme as well, where we are uncovering things that shouldn't be hidden anymore, especially toxic family ties or secrets that are hurting us. Okay, so spiritual teachers, leaders, astrologers, tarot readers, whoever, all say this phrase: stop holding on to things that don't serve you. Let go of things that don't serve you. But this is on a whole larger scale. This is about getting to the roots of the real problem, okay? So if you're saying that your attitude is something that you want to work on, why are you so easily triggered? Have you got to the root of why you're so easily triggered yet? If you're saying that your anger or your anger is something that you want to work on, have you got to the root of why you're so angry? Have you got to the root of why you are so socially awkward and you can't act in groups, but you have this dream of stuff and things that you want to do, but you can't execute any of it because you too recluse, you're not open enough, you're not transparent enough because you're hiding things. If you hide something, you're not being transparent. You have to be transparent. In order to pursue your dreams and be able to network with people and get to the place that you want to be, you got to be a real person. You got to be able to be transparent. But are you being real with yourself? This is what Pluto's retrograde in Capricorn is asking you. Are you being real with yourself? Have you got to the root of the real problem? Now, these are some words that I'm going to throw out there, and it's kind of fitting that this video come during the waning moon phase after the full moon, because waning moon phase is always a good time to start doing some inner work, some shadow work, some healing work. Okay, so let me tell you these. Let me say these. So purge, disconnect, solitude, meditation, fasting, change. If any of these words make you feel some type of way, then you know that something is encouraging you to heal in one of these areas, and these are things that are a part of that. Are you afraid to purge? Are you afraid to detox and purge and get rid of all that stuff that's in your body just to be refilled? Sometimes I am forced to purge. Like, I don't even be feeling sick, but then during full moon time, I just be throwing up. Like, I just threw up. You know what I'm saying? Because it was time for me to purge, and I didn't do it on my own. I didn't detox or fast and do what I was supposed to do on my own, so I ended up purging because I've just swallowed so much bullshit. I've not only put so many toxins into my body through the food that I eat, but I've consumed so much trash just living in this place that we call America. Kids playing video games, me scrolling up and down my timeline on social media, the shit that they put on the TV, celebrity news. And while we're on the topic of celebrity news, because I don't really keep up with celebrity news because I feel like Hollywood is fake. And we know Hollywood is fake. It's full of actors. Duh. This is not like me trying to be like super deep or conscious. I just don't get into a lot of Hollywood news because, it's just drama. And it's really just entertainment. And if I'm not being entertained by it at the time, I'm not going to get into it. That's not what's been entertaining me lately. So I don't really get into a whole lot of celebrity news and stuff like that. But when you want to think of some personal examples of what I'm talking about with this Pluto retrograde and shit being uncovered, think about how they trying to expose Diddy all over the internet. Like, they saying it without saying it. You know what I'm saying? Then exposing all these other people. These are all things that came with this Pluto into Capricorn. Not the retrograde part, but Pluto into Capricorn anyway, right? Cancel culture and exposing people, 2008, social media. All this shit kind of ushered into this time because it's all about transparency with Scorpios and Capricorns, honestly. But anyway, Oprah. We thought we knew everything what there was to know about Auntie Oprah, right? But she got something special coming out where she's revealing abuse that she still hasn't talked about. That type of stuff. Okay, this is Domestic Violence and Sexual Abuse Awareness Month. I didn't even know that until I put two and two together recently because I was asked to speak on my survivor story of abuse. And I've confessed all my abuse, even the ones that I was embarrassed about, because you know what? If you've been abused or you've been victimized, don't be ashamed, because people try to make you feel bad about being a victim. How you gonna try to victimize a victim that's already a victim already? Some people just didn't know. I was raised with toxic people. I was raised with my biological mother I was adopted first, and then when I went to go live with my biological mother, oh, it was Toxic City, honey. Toxic motherfucking city. I mean, she makes, my mama make up cuss words. My mama still cuss us out. You know what I'm saying? It's the drugs, I know. And I'm not saying that to be funny, because when you talk about generational stuff that happened too, we can't leave crack out, okay? You know, I don't think crack is a joke. I don't think crack is funny, because I feel like crack really did destroy a whole generation. And then even the people who didn't use crack, it was still affected us, because now crack culture has embedded the hip hop culture. That's all people are doing when they being rappers. All these rappers try to do is they just glorify dope boys, like they just stole dope boy lifestyle, the cars, the chains, the clothes, the women, all that stuff. It started with dope first. Hip hop artists weren't even embodying that. Them niggas was outside rapping on corners and doing little shows and shit. They was still fly, but all this extra shit came with the drug culture. You know, y'all know what I'm talking about. But my mama, she did use drugs in the 80s, and she is a pistol, okay? So I went to go stay with her when I was 13 years old, and my stepdad, and when I say the toxic child, I don't even understand how I could breathe in the house. It was so toxic, okay? The way that they talk to each other, the way that they talk to us, the way that she handled problems, the way that she handled anything, the way that I began to handle things, the way that I handled even living with her, how I was just so unchecked as a minor was also an issue too. So I had toxic shit that I had to get rid of as I got older, of blocking people out, being cold-hearted, being very, very cold-hearted, like being friendly and nice in your face, but as soon as you try to get close to me, no, baby, no, you can't get close to me now. No, we're not, we friends, but we're not friends like that, okay? That's not nice. That's not cool to be like that. You know, I kept myself out of a lot of activities and stuff I could have participated in because of my toxic family dynamic, making me awkward, okay? So, and then when you think about toxic habits too, y'all, don't just be thinking about, I'm talking about, you know, bad relationships and addiction and stuff like that. Being naive is a toxic habit. Being an enabler is a toxic habit. You think you helping people, but you really not. Or being naive, getting scammed all the time. That is toxic to you and toxic to the person, because if they can keep doing it to you, when they get tired of doing it to you, they're going to go do it to somebody else. So you need to stop that shit. Time for you to say no and stand up on some shit, okay? Now, listen. I know this ain't no conversation you ain't I never had before, but I'm telling you right now, because the energy that's going on in the planets is supporting that you take care of your shit this time, okay? Stop lying to your family about that man, okay? And what he do and what he don't do for you. Okay? Stop acting like you like that fucking job and you know you don't. Stop working for less than what you're worth, okay? This is the energy that we're supporting here. Stop using painkillers and shit. Stop letting that one bully ass family member walk all over you. Okay? Tell them how you really fucking feel. You think what you scared to get into a fight? Fuck all that, okay? It's time for us to start standing on our 10 toes, okay? Standing firm on what we believe in, so we don't have to keep hearing this shit where I'm telling y'all to let go of shit that does not serve you. That means people, attitude, ways, but you can't let go of all that shit over there, the easy shit, but then still try to cover up and hide this shit over here and think that you really gonna manifest the life that you want. You're going to get stuck every time. You're going to cap every time. You're going to get here and then you're going to cap because you got this little secret right here. Pat, popping your ass right back down to where you started, okay? That's what's going to happen every time. It's going to eat away at you and chip at your success. We got to let the toxic shit go. We got to let the overindulgence. I'm not just talking about drugs, alcohol, niggas, bitches, whatever. All that stuff. I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about overindulgent behaviors. Maybe overeating, overuse of drugs. Even if you use it in moderation, I love weed. But the bottom line is that there has to be a budget for that shit, okay? I can't just be buying zips and shit whenever I fucking feel like. I have to have a budget for that shit. I'm gonna smoke all day, believe that, but you know, maybe once or twice during the day, I'm gonna roll me a little pinner and maybe roll me a little fatty at night or some shit like that. I'm just saying, there's a budget, a time budget, an energy budget, a money budget. Okay, for what you should be distributing out, because something has to go back in. And if it's toxic, it's going to take what's already there. And then the shit that you put back out is going to be tainted too, okay? That's what we saying. Pluto is making you look at that shit. Scorpio's got, oh, am I lying? Don't nobody know how to tell you about yourself to a Scorpio. Don't get a Scorpio in their feelings and they feel like they ready to tell you about yourself. What the fuck gonna happen? They gonna tell you about your motherfucking self. And they ain't gonna be all that polite about it. Ain't gonna be no cute shit either. Especially if you cutting up. A Scorpio is the friend that be like, now bitch, now you know that was stupid as fuck and you shouldn't have did that dumbass shit and you know better than that, you smarter than that. Scorpio, that friend, okay? And that's what Pluto is telling to do you in Capricorn. Get your shit together. Long story short, we have to take a look at the part that we are playing and what's going on in our life, okay? And what's going on with our relationships. We have to look at why are we attracting certain behaviors from people. Are you attracting like really good-hearted, good-natured people, or do you keep attracting a bunch of evil-ass people or people who seek to do you harm? It seemed like for the longest, because I was still walking around with this victim mentality, I was attracting a lot of predators and also victims with victim mentality. You know why I kept attracting them type of people? Is because God was trying to get me to look at myself. Because I was carrying around this victim mentality that I wanted to use when I wanted to get my way, it was turning me into a predator. If you keep holding on to that victim mentality, it's going to turn into bitterness, and you're going to turn around and you're going to do the same thing to other people, and now you become a predator yourself, okay? So we are looking at our behaviors. What am I doing that I could change? How am I budgeting my time and my energy? How am I dealing with people? Am I obsessed with being fucking toxic? You know what I mean? If you feel like it's your life calling to go ahead and be the toxic bitch in the room, then go ahead and do that. But don't be surprised when the fucking pool is tainted and unswimmable because you didn't fuck that up trying to be toxic, because bad shit is a trend. That's why I say Hollywood is fake. They encourage trends of bullshit all the time. They just encourage you to do all the wrong shit. They're using video games to encourage. You do realize that these kids that's running around shooting each other, these 16, 17, 18-year-old, 19 young men that's running around here shooting each other and going on car chases and stealing cars and stuff, all they doing is acting out GTA. When you want to get on live and you want to act like this bougie ass person that we know that people know that you're not, and you know you want to try to flex and show off your lifestyle that people know that you aren't living. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you do the shit, honestly. But all you doing is being a Love and Hip Hop character, because that's all they do. You know damn well them characters on Love and Hip Hop is not as rich. Them houses and shit and cars and shit that be rented is a facade for most of them, so they could be able to get their clout up. It's all about clout now. It's not really about being famous or talented or being known. It's all about the clout. Now, how many clout points you got? How many followers you got? How many views you got? How many people like you? How many videos and stuff that you got on your page? Are you consistent with your content creation and all this other bullshit, okay? That's the world we live in. And, you know, going back to astrology, Saturn and Jupiter's conjunction tried to usher in this whole new way of thinking of how we see each other and how we see ourselves in the midst of the collective. You're really looking at where I fit in and all of this bullshit that's going on, okay? So, over this retrograde period, over the next 5 months, that is what you're going to be looking at. Where the fuck do I fit in and all this bullshit going on? And how is it going to benefit me? And what am I going to do to make money and grow that shit while I'm doing it? Okay? Simple. The fear of consequences is controlling our every move. We can ease off of that just a little bit. Not too much, because remember, Saturn still rules Capricorn, and Saturn is about business, okay? So, but, you know, during this retrograde time, it's letting us back up a little bit from all that responsibility and all that pressure you feel on your shoulders to be the best business person you can be, to be the best artist you can be, to be the best vlogger, to be the best whatever it is that you're trying to be, the best that you can be. That's the pressure that comes under Capricorn anyway. But Pluto being in Capricorn, we're reinventing the way that we see that. And this retrograde is giving you a chance to go back. Look, what can I do different? What next step am I ready for? What am I getting rid of that's not helping me? And let's talk about hiding, okay? Because this is a real serious thing. You cannot manifest beautiful rays of light into your life if you're steady hiding the things that are meant to empower you. Quit thinking abuse and, you know, negativity and all those things that happened to you and trauma and all that stuff that came into your life to destroy you. At the same time, you can turn around and use those same things to empower you. But not if you hide it, not if you never confess it. This is Domestic Violence and Sexual Abuse Awareness Month. If there is any a time that is okay for you to open up about what happened to you, don't let the internet make you feel victimized either, because the internet is good for that, for making victims feel like even bigger victims, like, oh, you stupid, you should have did this, you should have did that. Fuck all that, okay? I'm telling you right now, if you haven't had the opportunity to confess because of shame, because of guilt, because you don't know where to turn, this is your time to find you a mental health professional, a trusted friend, a mentor, a partner, a spiritual leader, someone to take the time and confess so you can heal. Take advantage of all this energy that's going on this month. Retrogrades and all type of stuff is going to support you to turn back the hand of time, to go back and reach that shit in and get it out. So look, I pretty much dealt with all my trauma. You know, I've confessed all the things that have happened to me and how they changed me. And I've learned to heal from them things so I could be a better parent, because I didn't want to be a cold parent. You know what I'm saying? Those things, my way of dealing with them, and it might be because my placement is Aquarius and we are considered to be cold because we come off as unemotional. We don't come off as unemotional, but we feel like if our emotions aren't serving, you know, a purpose, or it's going to cause a solution, then there's no need for us to let them out. But that's not a good way to be either. But I will say this, you know, dealing with my traumas to become a better parent made me a better person, made me a better sister to this community, made me just better all the way around, because I was just so full of just ignorant, you know, just not really being a hater, you know what I'm saying, but just not being into anything, more emo than anything, I would say. Not like hater, angry, but more like uninterested and unbothered, okay? But you want to have some spark. You want to feel. You want to be able to do things. You want your power. Take your power back, okay? Take your power back. It's time to confess. And, you know, and I'm not just talking about people doing something to you either. If it's something that you've done to somebody else, because when you ain't perfect just because you be spiritual. Most of the times, us being on bullshit is what leads us to spirituality. Is it not? Okay? So, no more running from our truths, the truth. We all been through some things, and there's no need to be ashamed of what you've been through, no matter what it is, of what you've done. It's nothing that you could have possibly done that's no worse than somebody else in the weird world has done and been forgiven for, okay? Even if it just starts with forgiving yourself, even if you feel like that nobody else will forgive you, it's time to confess so you can at least forgive yourself. Because what you gonna do? Then stop doing all of this, okay? If you're not going to be honest with yourself, then you might as well just stop doing all of this. Stop with the meditating and the praying and all that stuff. You're not even being honest with yourself, so who are you being honest to when you pray? When you meditate, or your ancestors? You're not even being honest to them. They see you. They know what's going on. A lot of the shit that you dealing with probably came from them. It might be a generational curse. It might have came from them. But until you tap in, you can't heal from it, and you can't get the power that you need to really deal with it and to carry it and to go forward. So in conclusion, we all get motherfucking help this week. So when the new moon come around, we be our traumas, we be confessed, our dealings and things that hurt us, things that we have done to hurt other people. 2024 will be here before you know it. And this is the time to really reinvent and push your career, because what sign comes after Capricorn? Aquarius again, okay? And things are going to get a little bit freaky in that time when you start thinking about Pluto in Aquarius, the planet of rebirth, life, death, and transformation inside of the sign of unpredictability. Ain't no telling what the fuck is going to happen. So I'm telling you now to utilize this retrograde period to really turn inward and heal. So when Pluto goes back direct in Capricorn, you ready to fucking work, okay? Period, poo. And that's all I have for y'all. All right, so I will see you at new moon this time for real, okay? And we probably touch on for new moon, we might touch on retrograde a little bit, because I know it starts in Gemini season. So depending on, I didn't even look at the date for the new moon. It's definitely in Gemini, right? Yeah. No, new moon was in Aries. So we had our new moon in Aries, right? And then we had our full moon for this month. So now the next new moon is for Taurus. And then the full moon will fall in Gemini. I don't know. But anyway, we'll look at all of that next. But, you know, the next thing is new moon and Mercury retrograde, Gemini season, and all the things that is going to come with that. Are y'all ready to get busy? Because that's what the fuck is about to happen. We about to get fucking busy. All right? So, I love y'all. And thank y'all for tuning in. And remember, please keep giving me feedback, because I don't mind doing this if y'all don't mind watching. All right, stars. See y'all when I see y'all. Bye.